And I have just received word that we are all ready to get going on this next run. After the 3 hours run, we got the shortest run of the marathon, but that doesn't mean that it is any less sweet. Take it away, Tigerion, with JIJImago Old and Young RPGmini.
All right. Thank you. So, good morning. Bonjour. I guess konbanwa for the Japanese restream.
Konbanwa.
Konbanwa. I hope you're doing well. Ça va? So today I'm going to be playing through JIJImago RPGmini. As you can guess from the name, this is going to be a very short run, but it's going to be a very cute run. And this is my little soapbox to say, everyone that plays RPGs, we all love those really long games, really great long stories, but sometimes it's worth it to go out and find something nice and short. And JIJImago, as a casual playthrough, is a little over an hour, and then this speedrun will be even faster. But I will just get right back into it to try and give you some time back. So it will start on 3, and I'll tell you the run ends when we see the word fin at the end. I'm sure the French restream will appreciate that. So in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Okay. So we're going to mash through some text where they're giving us the background of the story, which is that we're playing as two characters, Jiji, the old man, and Mago, the young girl. And she is a blessed child, which means things we'll find out later. But for now, the most important thing, head pats. This entire game is going to be based around the concept of we're trying to collect as many head pats as possible. That's not actually what we're trying to do, but because that is an option to every single choice I'm going to make that choice every single time I can. And if you're going to try and come up with a 100% run of this game, do know that head pats are a tracked mechanic. So for now, we're adventurers, and we just got a quest from the guild master to go out into a forest to find some sacred water and investigate a tree. So this is part of the Sword of Mine game series made by an independent developer, and head pats. So we're in the forest, and of course the first thing we do is just more head pats, but we run into an adventurer named Shake, who's also here to do a little bit of investigating, so she's going to go on ahead. And for now, we're now going to say, no, we don't want to do a tutorial, but don't worry, the game has more tutorials for us. We're going to get one soon. And the first tutorial we're going to run into is fights. So in this game, we are going to be doing a lot of just random fights. And for most of them, we're going to level up immediately afterwards. And if we fight a particularly strong enemy, we're going to get an extra point that we're able to spend to upgrade our abilities. So there's a little bit of a quote-unquote swag strat of, there's also a lot of invisible walls in this map. But yeah, as we're going along, we're going to be also resting every once in a while. So you sit down and we're going to heal. Whenever we do that, we do have risk in encounter. And if things go poorly and I get really low health, you can get into a situation where when you try and heal, you just immediately have to fight somebody again. It's not the best. Here we just found some armor, which is going to be very helpful in just a moment when we run into our first boss. But yeah, for now, we're just going to try and heal up, and we'll take fights as we go. And just depending on when we run into encounters, I will try and do a little grind when it becomes necessary. But you see a little event down here. This is going to be our first boss, which is also our first chance to do a bit of a menu. So we'll go to status, and as might be expected, we're going to go completely glass cannon. We're a little bit low, but we'll take a try. And we got a random encounter trying to get to the boss, which is okay. We do need more levels. But here we've head pats. We're now going to run into our first boss, which is an egg raptor. This is not particularly a good sign based on the amount of damage that I just saw, so we're probably going to die here. Yes, we have. Luckily, this game is very forgiving. Anytime you die, it's just going to say you lost. Do you want to retry? Yes. So we're just going to sit here, we're going to heal, and while doing that, we're going to force some more encounters, because I do want like 2 more levels before we try again.
I'm seeing so many head patting emotes in chat.
Excellent. That's what this game is about. So yeah, we're going to take out this one more wolf. We're going to spend our points. Oh, I forgot those wolves are now at the point where they don't give us points anymore. And we again run into a random encounter on our way to the boss. That's okay. Oh, uh-oh. We're going to pretend we didn't see that. I may have accidentally not head patted.
Yeah.
grasp.
So yeah, it's sometimes I forget that. Yeah, so you can see the boss goes down a lot more quickly this time. And it's okay that Jans got knocked down. You get healed right at the end of the fight, and we're going to talk about, oh, that was a boss fight. And then we run into this penguin who is in a forest, but then we find out, oh, he's just a merchant. You know, that's just, penguins are merchants. Don't worry about it too much. Okay, so I need to move first, and then I will be, okay, we're going to activate another cutscene, basically saying, oh, look at that. There's maps where you can't see all the edges, but we need to heal first. And in a lot of RPGs, you might be used to the idea of bosses showing up later. In this game, bosses show up as regular enemies literally on the next screen. So that's why it's kind of important to make sure we do that grind, is that we're going to be running into enemies that are literally the boss on the next screen. Okay, we're going to heal again. But first we picked up some armor for Maruna here. Yeah, and getting these extra encounters is actually somewhat to my benefit in that there is going to be another grind coming up in a moment. But for now, we're just kind of moving through, so if the host has any announcements they want to get ahead on.
Yes, actually, I have one that I would love to read off here. We have a very generous $250 donation from Nori that says, like Young, Nami needs head pats.
Thank you, Nori. So yeah, we're just going through trying to collect some more levels, and right now our limiting factor is going to be the health on Jans, the old man who's also our tank. So that's basically every time we heal, so that's why I'm using my magic as much as I can. But we're going to run into another encounter. We run into the adventure again. We're going to find out more about her investigating the forest and the goings-on. But she's also going to speed on ahead of us at Pat's. And, you know, Veruna's young and she's adventurous, so she wants to race on after us, but the old man wants to take a break. So we're going to spend the night. And so this is a very special cutscene, and for one particular reason, and that is that there are 2 head pad encounters in the same cutscene. And so we're way through the night, and we're back on our adventure. And so we're going to come down here, we're going to pick up some medicine that's on the ground. Don't pay attention to the fact that the map has changed, there's nothing to worry about. All right, how are we doing against the snow bunnies? Not great. We're probably going to stop again in a moment. Yeah, so we'll heal. Yeah, a lot of this game is just kind of trying to maximize your time fighting in comparison to the amount of time you're spending waiting for the heal to come back. I thought he would go down that round. Guess not. We'll come down here. Well, we'll try and go down there to get a sword for Jans. Or no, that is a weapon for Maruna, actually. That's her A-rank weapon. But yeah, as you can see, we're leveling up rather quickly, and as we go along, we're going to quite quickly get to a point where we're defeating enemies in one round, even if we were struggling with them before. Which is good, considering this is a very short game. Yeah, we'll need to rest again. But yeah, at the beginning of fights, you might see there's a smash attack, and that is, you do get a chance of kind of like a first round hit, and if that successfully goes off, you can, on weaker enemies, just instantly defeat them. Which is part of the way the game kind of tells you, like, hey, you're done here, you should move on. We don't need that item. Again, the fact that I am not one-rounding snow bunnies is somewhat concerning. We're going to heal here. And we're gonna go on to another event where we'll run into the penguin again. And we're like, what are you doing? This is very dangerous. Why are you out here? And the merchant, well, this is where business is. Which is, you know, what every merchants are saying in RPG, where you wonder, why are they in the final dungeon? This is where the business is. But we are now into another zone where we can't see anything. But this is also scary, because this is going to be the first zone where we run into dragons. And these are fire-breathing dragons. So what do you think they're weak against?
Ice.
Fire.
Oh.
Unfortunately, they can knock us out very easily. So we're going to actually retry from before the battle, and we're going to step out. But unfortunately, to leave... Oh, no, he's not going to let us leave. To leave a zone, you do need to step into it and then back out. If you're going to do that... Okay, he's not going to do that. Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, you can get kind of stuck in a loop here. So just let me in. Thank you. And I'm going to leave. We're going to try and trigger some more encounters. So this is another time for the host if they have anything that they'd like to work on.
Absolutely. I'd like to remind everyone, we are RPG Limit Break, and we proudly support the National Alliance on Mental Illness. To get involved in the fight against the negative stigmas around mental illness, please reach out to NAMI via their state-level organizations. You can find them on Facebook as NAMI, or on Instagram or X as @NAMICommunicate. Remember, it's not a weakness to need help, and please reach out if you feel like you need it. And yes, the battles with dealing with the negative stigmas around mental illness are very much an involved kind of effort. For as much as, NAMI is a fantastic organization, it's also a lot of, day-to-day work, just going around and just helping to kind of fight the stigmas with mental illness. Just kind of, day-to-day, just being there and being supportive of people.
All right, thank you. So that is actually right at the point where I normally am going to start risking dragons normal. I was getting a little bit hasty to go in there before, but I wanted to see if I could do it. Because dragons are worth, as you might expect, a lot more money than snow bunnies when it comes to rewards, and we're going to want to buy a lot of stuff at the end.
They still do a lot of damage.
Yep, yeah, that fire breath attack is a strong one, and it does hit both the front and back characters. So we're going to now go down and over, and there's another merchant. We can talk to him, but we're going to avoid that. These guys, we use a slightly different strategy. We're going to lose. That is not the strategy, but there was a different strategy going on before I lost, just in case you were curious. Those guys are meaner than dragons, and they also give less reward. Yeah, we're being somewhat unlucky in how few encounters I'm getting. I really do need encounters. I need to level up. But we're gonna... The enemies aren't going to change for these next two screens, so I'm going to go and make a little side trip to go grab a sword and hope that something fights me. Please fight me. I need experience. I am horribly underleveled right now.
Oh man, the all caliber.
So yeah, if anyone wants to play this game casually, it is available for free on multiple platforms. And I do really recommend it. I will warn you, the English translation is, it gets the point across. At least I would say so. Some people disagree with me on that point. But it's a really cute story if you take the time with it. And again, this is my chance to soapbox about the joys of trying out like little indie games, these little bite-sized RPGs that get an idea across. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a grind again here. Unfortunately, as short as this game is, there are quite a few points where I have a bit of a level checkpoint, and I have been unlucky in how few encounters I'm getting, and I do need to catch up to where I need to be. Because the final boss in particular, if they can be quite mean, they can be quite nice. Usually they are not quite nice. But yeah, this also gives me a chance to get more gold, because the final boss, the strategy is mostly I'm going to stand around and hope that he lets me do something. And during that time where I'm waiting, I'm just going to be heal tanking with items. So it's going to be interesting, because basically he has one attack that when he does it, it gives me a chance to do something. But if he chooses any of his other options, I'm going to be just kind of waiting it out. So I will do, I think, one more fight. I was kind of hoping it'd be oh yeah, I was kind of hoping it was going to be a dragon, but I guess not. That was one of the few times I'm ever going to run out of SP because I was grinding so hard. Yeah, we'll wait for that to come back. We will spend our points just to give me a better idea where I am at. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. We're a bit short on money. But other than that, I'm pretty good. And we've detected that there is a strong presence ahead of us. So we're going to take this chance to do our last shopping trip, which is basically we're just going to buy every single healing, like the strongest healing item we can get from him. And then to the final event, where, oh, we've run into the other adventure at this tree where we're supposed to find the sacred waters. Head pats.
I love this song, by the way.
Yeah. The music is great in this game. And the developer does, they have actually music available if you want to make your own little game. But what has happened? The merchant, the penguin, is here? Turns out the penguin actually is here for nefarious means. Head pats. He's going to steal the sacred water for himself. So this is the first phase of the boss, which is just going to be us fighting a penguin. And I'm actually going to have you attack, and you are going to use a regular healing item. It's going to... Yeah, there's actually a chance you can parry. But yeah, we're going to heal up for the second phase, because the second phase is where things get nonsense. Ignore the untranslated line there. There's nothing important. Head pats. So yeah, we've defeated the evil penguin, but as a result, the sacred waters have awakened something else, a superior spirit. We can't hurt it. But luckily, the other adventurer is somehow able to break through its spell. And our strategy here is basically we're just going to hope that he doesn't do that attack in particular. But yeah, if he does the charge forward attack, Jans is basically just setting up to counter, and as a result, takes no damage. Okay, actually, I kind of played a little risky. We'll have you both use reproductions this turn. We'll have you tank, you reproduction on Jans. Thank you. So that basically gives us a free turn. Reproduction is the biggest healing item, and it also recharges SP. We're actually doing quite well. I mean, I am slightly higher level than I normally am. And we have defeated the second phase. But this superior spirit actually, it's what happens to a blessed child. So we're having a bit of an emotional crisis here. But luckily, head pats. That one is not a choice. That is a mandatory head pats. But we're so worried, and how do we defeat it? Well, we think about it, and we find in our heart the energy of head pats. And based on the energy of head pats, we have awakened the Sword of Mind, which is this developer's name for this series of games. So we're going to charge up our sword. Ooh, look at that. And we've charged it up, and now we're going to use another of this game's mechanics where you actually have super moves you can charge up by using regular attacks. We've completely ignored that. But now, by the power of head pats, we also have the power of anime on our sides. And the second phase is pretty free. You actually can die on it, I found out recently. But yeah, with the power of anime, we have now defeated the third and final phase, and that is the end of the final boss. You get win. And so we find out the other adventurer is actually another blessed child, and she was the requester for this quest, and wanted to just make sure that we're in a good space, so that we're not going to turn into one of these evil superior spirits. Head pats. But yeah, so we're happy with this adventure. We've completed our quest for the guild, and we're gonna go back. And so again, we have to go through credits. Time is not yet. There is still an important decision yet to be made. I bet you can guess what the important decision is. More head pats. There's actually, if you have a save game, you can actually skip the tutorial, and it actually just said, do you want to skip the tutorial? Yes. Do you want to head pat? It's the only time you can head pat on a choice of 2. But yeah, so we're going to come up after this. There's going to be a quick motion. We're going to do some head pats. And then, as I said, time will be when the screen goes to black and says Finn. Head pats. So just a little bit more. It'll be fading to black. And time.
GG's.
All right. Still underestimate. Good. Sorry, Japanese only. That's a lie. There actually is English past this, but it's a little bit of an omake. And they actually in this there is a there's a spot where if you could read Japanese, it does actually keep track of your counts of head pats. But in the interest of time, I will give the floor back to the event as a whole. So once again, thank you, Shentok. Thank you, dowolf, for coming along. And thank you for everyone that has suffered through us for the last 3.5 hours. Yeah. I see nervous eyes looking towards me.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Tigerion, for that amazingly cute and quick little speed run there. So I just want to let you all know we're going to be taking a very quick break here, and that is going to be concluding my time as hosting for real this time, as I said a few hours ago. But I will be leaving you in the capable hands and voice of Hebbings, who will be hosting the next couple of runs. Next up is going to be Dragon Quest II for the MSX by Cotton, and that is going to be this is going to be sort of our little mini short block as we segue from our silly block. So stay tuned. It's going to be some rather quick little runs here. And don't go anywhere because we will be just running a very quick ad. We will be back momentarily.
Hello, RPG Limit Break. My name is Hebbinks, and I am excited to be hosting our next run of Dragon Quest II by Cotton. While we finish getting set up here, I did just want to go ahead and remind everybody that in an effort to support the mission statement of NAMI, we would like to encourage our viewers in chat and our donors to avoid using mental health-related pejoratives when describing situations that are extraordinary. These include terms like crazy, insane, mental, nuts, bonkers, etc. We asked you to be mindful of the specific language you use, as many people do not realize these are pejoratives. Instead, consider substituting them with words such as amazing, ridiculous, wild, bananas. We greatly appreciate your cooperation with this and hope that you can carry this forward in your everyday lives. Alrighty, and I'm getting word that we are ready. Once again, my name is Hebbinks, and this next run will be Dragon Quest II by Cotton. Take it away.
Sorry. Hello じゃねえ。Hello. I'm Cotton, and I will be running Dragon Quest II MSX version this time.